Welcome Ramley, how are my Rams super fans doing today? Now the Rams didn't have the best ending to the regular season, but we still finished by winning 5 out of our last 6 games, while the Cardinals finished by losing 5 of their last 8 games. That would even include losses to the Colts, the Lions, the Panthers, the Seahawks, and of course the LA Rams. That's 2 teams seemingly going in 2 completely different directions. With that being said, I still think this game is going to be a lot closer than some might think. Let's get into it. Now this is the tiebreaker. The Cardinals embarrassed us in week 4 and the Rams took care of business in week 14. We beat them in week 14 with about 5 starters out due to a COVID outbreak. That was including Jalen Ramsey and Tyler Higbee not playing. This week the Rams will have both of those players, while this Cardinals team will be without star wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins. The Rams will have Ramsey this time, but they will be without starting safety Jordan Fuller for the rest of the season. I think this loss poses a big problem for the Rams secondary. It wasn't a coincidence that last week, as soon as Jordan Fuller leaves the game, the Rams secondary has 2 or 3 huge blown coverages against the 49ers. Hopefully Terrell Burgess and Nick Scott preparing for more action this week in practice will prevent that from happening again. But if not, Kyler Murray could have a huge day. Also, J.J. Watt is expected to be back, while both running backs James Conner and Chase Edmonds are both questionable. Now the Rams won in week 14 because Matthew Stafford played damn near perfect. 3 touchdowns, 0 turnovers, and a passer rating of 139. As we've seen in recent weeks, Stafford's game has been far from consistent. He could replicate his performance from week 14 and nobody would be shocked. But he could also replicate his week 4 performance against the Cardinals, where he had statistically the worst performance of the year. Your guess is as good as mine. Now the Rams win this game by simply not turning the ball over. If the Rams don't give up free points by turning the ball over and they continue to establish the run like they have in the second half of the season, then I don't think the Cardinals stand much of a chance. And as bad as the Rams defense played in the second half of last week's loss to the 49ers, I think the credit should go to Mike Shanahan, someone who's had the Rams number his entire coaching career. I don't think it's necessarily indicative on how the Rams defense will be going forward. I think the addition of Von Miller and his ability to set the edge and keep Kyler Murray in the pocket helps tremendously. Last time we played, the Rams got to Murray 4 times, including 3 sacks from Aaron Donald. Hopefully we can duplicate that again. Now the Cardinals win this game by getting these 2 running backs going. Hopefully for the Cardinals' sake they're playing. The Rams running defense has been great the last 5 or 6 games this season. But the second half of last week's game shows you that they are still not perfect. If the Cardinals can scheme up a way to get their running game going and control the time of possession, this game could go either way. And if they could force a few Matt Stafford turnovers, which isn't the hardest thing to do, this game could get out of hand in favor for the Cardinals. Now I do think the Rams are a much better team than the Cardinals, but I also think the Seahawks were a much better team than the Rams in 2020. The Seahawks beat us at the end of the season last year, and they went on to win the NFC West. We then played them in the first round of the playoffs and sent them home packing. This game against the Cardinals gives me that kind of vibe. I don't think it ends the same way, but I wouldn't be completely shocked if it did. These are 2 teams that know each other very well. And if you're betting on any games this week, I suggest you stay clear of this game. Speaking of betting, guys, online betting has just become legal in New York, my home state. It's also legal in many other states around the country, including California. If you're planning to sign up for DraftKings Sportsbooks or Caesars Sportsbooks, they're running some great promos right now. Please click the link in the description of this video. I actually made a few $100 this past week betting on the Jaguars to beat the Colts. If you're interested, please click the links below. It really helps this channel out. And if you like these videos, that kind of support goes a long way. So thank you. And now back to my prediction. I got the Rams 31, Cardinals 30. Make sure you subscribe and click right here for more Rams content.